Again, we see that Mr. Wole Soyinka's professorship certificate award must be questioned for the character displayed so far on the issues of forcing Senator Ahmed Bola Tinibu as president of Nigeria against the wishes of the Nigerian people. We hereby call on the permanent secretary of the organization in charge of the Nobel Prize called the Swedish Academy, who awarded Mr. Wole Soyinka with the title of the Nobel Prize in Literature, to officially withdraw the Nobel Prize status on the person of Mr. Wole Soyinka immediately. This withdrawal will help to disassociate themselves from the disgruntled supporter of an electoral fraud, the instability of the democracy of Nigeria, and the growth of our electoral processes. The withdrawal of this Nobel Prize will go a long way to also create a much more better valued respect for the Swedish Academy and its activities over the years. A personality like Mr. Wole Soyinka, relating to the support he has given to an illegitimate president-elect declared by the worst government election agency in the world, is a sign that the democracy of Nigeria is under attack and must be defended by the international community, where democracy is battered with the clean water of trust, hope, and service to humanity. Mr. Wole Soyinka must apologize to Nigerians as the only way to take himself out of the disgruntled character displayed after enjoying the patronage of Nigerians over the years in the sales of his books and academic materials. On behalf of all those who voted on the 25th of February 2023 for the presidential candidate of their choice, we ask everybody from the north, south, east, and west of Nigeria to come out on the streets to register their grievances on the rejection of the presidential election result announced by INEC against the wish of the Nigerian people. Just to remind Nigerians and the international community that in 2011 and 2015, President Buhari and the APC promised to form a parallel government on May 29 if the mandate of Nigerians were not transmitted to them as winners of the said elections and the walls of Nigeria did not fall as a nation. Buhari went ahead to say the blood of the baboons will do whatever, and the DSS did not ask him why. We therefore call on the Nigerian people and the international community to note that we, as citizens of Nigeria who voted on the presidential election day, shall also form a parallel government come May 29, 2023, if the mandate of the people is not reviewed by INEC and President Buhari, as the Electoral Act provides in regards to the usage of the voting results as presented by the beavers machines on election day. Meaning that we, the Nigerian people, shall not recognize the APC drug leader, Ahmed Bola Tinibu, as our president, and this is because the election that presented him as president-elect was filled with election irregularities and discrepancies that the world have seen as the highest in any election on earth. Even as the Court of Appeal gets ready to hear the cases presented to it by the Labour Party, NNPP, and the PDP against INEC and the APC, President Muhammadu Buhari and INEC Chairman Mahmoud Yakubu still have 49 days to clear their names as enemies of our democracy. It is very positive to note that this present government, chaired by President Muhammadu Buhari and the APC leadership, is reckless in indebting Nigeria by the continued borrowing of funds from foreign organizations at last minute of handing over power to a new administration. It is therefore a criminal act to borrow monies at the last hour of handover to another government. It is not acceptable, it is fraudulent in action, and we totally reject any more borrowing from this outgoing Buhari administration. Meanwhile, the ones you borrowed in the past have been stolen into personal pockets, and nothing have been done to investigate the biggest looting witnessed in this regime so far.
All right, thanks for joining us. This is Still Nation's Voice Tower. If you're just joining us, don't forget to like our videos, don't forget to share it, don't forget to watch till the end, because if you don't watch till the end, you wouldn't get all details and information contained in this video. I'm protesting Nigerian youths who have since taken protests to different parastatals and ministries in the FCT, Abuja, have come up to have a form of settled hearing from newsmen, and they've staged, and not only staged, they've granted a press interview to categorically make their grievances known. This is not just on the issues pertaining to INEC. If you would have a retrospect, you will know that these youths once took a protest on the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to the ECOWAS office, and they also came out to address some comments by Professor Wole Soyinka. Professor Wole Soyinka has been drawn out by Nigerians, especially obedience, as they call themselves, those who support the Labour Party, having had issues or made different comments on ethnicity in Nigeria as regards the political system and the present polity, and then the comments that were made by Dr. Baba Ahmed on the issues of the democratic system, and these comments that were termed as anti-democratic by a few spokespersons of the All Progressive Congress, as well as unresolved political and electoral issues in the country. Now watch these protesting youths as they are finally settled down and read all of what they have in stock in conjunction with the VMII that had already come out to make their grievances known and call out the president-elect Ahmed Tinibu, saying that he is not actually the legitimate president of the country-elect, and he stands a chance of being brought down, and the mandate returned to whoever is confirmed as the victorious person at the polls as regards the judiciary verdict come some time from now. Let us watch these protesting youths in their movement in one of the offices, and how they finally found a way to settle down and read all their grievances, especially directing it to Wole Soyinka as regards his recent comments on ethnicity and political issues. Watch them.
The world is watching. Our nation is watching. Leaders are watching. We feel pain, and we challenge the media to report appropriately what's going on in our country, because history, right here, history is happening before us. May we not cower. May we rise up and be the voice of reasoning at this particular juncture in Nigeria's history. In the last 21 days, we have made consistent call for the cancellation of the presidential election, risking our lives amidst threats of attack by political thugs and violent merchants, some of whom have camped at the Unity Fountain. We have also held press conference to clarify our position on the declaration of an interim government, when the ill-planned attempt by spying doctors to frame it as a call for military takeover began to build up heat in the polity. We have also held national prayers for the nation. But above all, we have maintained a non-violent stance in our bid to seek redress for our demand. Our demands remains the following: sack, arrest, prosecute Professor Mahmoud Yakubu.
Yes.
Cancellation of the presidential election of 25 February 2023.
Yes.
Compensate all victims of electoral violence.
Yes.
The establishment of Truth and Reconciliation Committee in Lagos, another flashpoint of violence.
Yes.
Our resolve is built on truth, faith, hope, and on the risky, if not suicidal, conviction that illegality will always birth illegality. Hardly can any Nigerian alive deny the outcome of the presidential election did not represent the will of the Nigerian people or amount to an abuse of suffrage. We all know the truth, but why are we not saying anything about it? What most Nigerians do not understand is that the people representing this evil against our country are deliberate and desperate. Their path is laid before them, and power is their ultimate livelihood. It does not matter how many people are killed or how badly they pollute our ideological space with religious and tribal sentiments. As long as they get to power, they are fulfilled. Even now, they have made permutations for 2027 because in their mind, they own the country and Nigerians have nothing. Nigerians must see in this last election and even at this moment an opportunity that is fast burning out. We cannot deny that the enthusiasm and dedication of Nigerians to participate in the 2023 general election and the political tsunami that followed, such as the sack of incumbent governors and parliamentarians, was a threat to the life of the old political order. In order to sustain their hold on power, they unleashed their age-long tactics of religious and ethnic sentiments. In some places, we turned on each other. In other places, they unleashed their war dogs on hapless Nigerians who fled polling units, abandoning the elections. But though one of us may lose, all of us cannot. We are as strong as our numbers and the courage with which we stand in the face of impunity. Yes. The Nigerian youth represents the most abused demography in the unlawful conduct of Professor Mahmoud Yakubu. He toiled with your trust, your faith, and your resilience on the credibility of the electoral process. He made you a ray of hope at the end of a dark tunnel, though he knew he was going to plug it as soon as elections were over. He was in league doing the bidding of his masters, of the corrupt and evil old political order. They know that you will be angry. They know you will be traumatized. Yes, they know you will be uninterested, afraid. But above all, they know you will do nothing after the election results were upturned and their desired winner announced. They did it to kill your spirit and believe in the possibility of a free and fair election because they know that if it ever become a reality, their grip on power and gluttonous plunder of our commonwealth will perish. Maybe they have succeeded because the apathy that greeted the conduct of the gubernatorial elections were loud and deep. You did not come out, nor due to the fear alone, but because fear had bled faith and hope from your heart. Sitting here today, we are certain, but that hope can birth courage if you let it. We were once like you, trapped and broken, lost in the inertia of political voodoo, pierced by the cruel spear of intimidation and reverse psychology, where lies are washed by truth, by the evil of all political order. But we dare to raise our heads at the pain of losing our lives to take the stand for Nigeria. We implore you to do the same, to leave the pages of social media and join us on the street to demand for justice, yes! For equity and fairness. Yes. And while we hope that the judiciary will do what is appropriate for our country in terms of our laws, we cannot sit and wait for Uhuru to happen.
Yet the youths are the power of the people Of course, the voice of the people is the voice of God, hence the Latin saying, Vox Populi, Vox Deo. You heard it there from the protesting youths in conjunction with the VMII. They couldn't hold their peace there, and they found a way to make their grievances known to Professor Wole Soyinka, who is a novelist in Nigeria and an award-winning writer. Okay, Professor Wole Soyinka, a Nobel Prize winner, couldn't really keep things at bay while he was making statements a few days ago. He directly pointed out at the fact that the APC were going for the real or the right direction, and he didn't point out the way ethnicity affected the just concluded general elections. And he also directed comments on Dr. Baba Ahmed and Peter Obi, who happened to be the people's choice and who happened to be the people's mandate. So as a result of this, the people didn't leave anything to chance. The youths came out to address him directly and make statements that could make sure he changes his own version or his own point of view as regards the just concluded elections, and few comments that were made politically. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.